It's Ultimate Adventure, the original hardcore off-road event. Since 1999, the staff of Peterson's 4-Wheelin' Off-Road has assembled a group of enthusiasts, sponsors, and support cronies who take super capable, highly built 4x4s on a once-in-a-lifetime week-long off-road adventure. We pack everything we need to survive in our vehicles, sometimes living out of them for days on end. We run an intense 4x4 trail one day, then drive hundreds of miles to a new area the next, and then repeat the process, all while seeing and doing incredible bucket list things along the way. We covered more miles just getting to the start of the event than any other year. We had more sponsors, the coldest temperatures, and the most incredible scenery. It's the 20th anniversary of Ultimate Adventure in Alaska, the final frontier, and it starts now. All right, hey, welcome to UA 2019 Day 1. Here we go. 20th adventure of Ultimate Adventure. We are in Alaska, and where we're going and what we're going to be doing here is Trenton McGee.
All right, guys. So, as I mentioned yesterday, we are going to be visiting a glacier. That glacier is not anywhere near any sort of a paved road, of course. So, let's go have some fun. So we're going to leave the hotel and we're going to be on divided 4-lane highway for a little while. It's actually some of the only highway we're going to see the entire trip.
We're actually right now traveling on the old Glen Highway. This used to be the old way to get from Anchorage to the Matsu Valley before they built the bridges in the early 90s to cross Knik River. And we're headed out to Knik Glacier to do some off-roading and mix it up with some really nice sightseeing of the glacier.
This is a very localized trail, very popular amongst 4-wheeling groups up here. It can be hit and miss. As you know, we've had a real warm summer. The warmer it gets, the more you're going to have snow melt, and the glacier's going to, obviously melt, and the rivers rise. I cannot tell you how many vehicles have either been lost or stranded out here just this year.
And where were we? New York.
Yep. There we go. I bet.
Yeah, I was like, it's pretty good.
So the first day of Ultimate Adventure is not going to be the hardest of the hardcore right out of the gate. We actually try and like to ease into things. So we're going to the Knik Glacier. That is an active glacier that actually empties into the Knik River. It's right outside of Wasilla. We're going to be chasing the Knik River most of the day. So there's going to be a lot of water crossings, some mud here and there. We're going to be in the woods. We're going to kind of be out in the riverbed. But the cool part is we're in this valley the entire time with just breathtaking mountainsides on both sides. It's pretty epic.
A lot of this trail, you get all kinds of like different areas. Like for instance, right now we're kind of meandering through the woods back in here, and it's more so a small like ATV trail, but it's just big enough for like a truck or Jeep.
So we're out here headed up to the Knik Glacier. We're right next to a river that's carrying a bunch of this glacial silt. I think it's called glacial flour, but it's super, super fine, really hard on bearings. If you get this in your axles or your wheel bearings, big trouble, big trouble. So let's hope that doesn't happen, and if it does, we'll rinse it out and keep going.
This one is a little bit tricky because it's kind of a spider web of trails back here. And so you really need to make sure that you keep the person in front of you and behind you in sight, because one wrong turn and you could be seriously separated from the group and or end up in some giant mud hole or something like that. So it's really important for the group to stick together.
So whatever happened all of a sudden. I was just driving a little weird, a little bit too much tension on the wheel. I thought I heard a noise. I asked someone to check it. Couldn't find anything. Finally, I stopped here and said, okay, let's put it into two-wheel drive, see what's going on. It's binding. Sure enough, the front ring and pinion must like lost all its teeth. So we're gonna have to continue on. Fortunately, I know the trail, it's not too bad. We got two vehicles, we can go probably all the way there now. Getting out's the hard part, and that's because of the mud. But again, we've got voodoo ropes, we got winches, so it's not really that big a deal. The problem is we're gonna be working all night trying to fix it or something else. That's a concern, maybe need some parts.
Yeah, pay attention as you're going through here. There's a couple of rocks on the sides, and while we're all being wowed by a glacier, it wouldn't be too hard to clip a sidewall.
We had heard on the radio from Stephen Watson that there was sharp rocks on the side, keep an eye out. And I thought I was, but clearly one got me. Split out the sidewall, and this tire is done. And I do have a spare, and so we're gonna go ahead and switch it out so we can make it back to town, and hopefully when we're back in town we can find another spare that's approximately the same size.
We started Ultimate Adventure 20 years ago. There's really no other off-road event like it. It's often imitated, never duplicated. It's an epic milestone, reaching 20 years of doing the same thing, especially at this level. One of our sponsors, Cummins, is having its 100th anniversary. What better year to do it?
This is incredible.
Not a bad way to spend your summer, huh?
No.
Hey, look, that must be one of those mangroves.
Oh boy. This year, you can really expect an absolute bucket list trip. I mean, we're gonna see things that people dream of seeing. We're gonna do things that people dream of doing. We're out here making it happen.
All right, so we're headed back towards town from the Knik Glacier. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see the glacier, get this party started right. Now we're kind of headed back in and see what other kind of adventures await.
Pop your tire. The front right tire. It's off the rim.
On lip over there. Came through that little hole back there with the little Jeep, and I'm running about 12, 14 pounds of air. I don't have any bead locks on this guy, and I thought that'd be safe for walking against any of this stuff, but apparently it's not. It popped the bead off of not one, but the other front tire as well. So now I got a bunch of guys helping me out fixing it. So hopefully we'll have it rolling again here soon. Sounds like it.
Yeah, I can see it moving. Just
I wouldn't stick my finger in there.
yeah.
Usually I feel like I'm safe around 14, 16, but
Good. way out. We found a couple cool little mud holes that seemed to be bottomless. Cooper tried the optional smaller one. He got stuck, and we winched him out with a Smittybilt winch. And now it's Watson's turn to ride the winch. It's pretty deep, pretty gooey, pretty awesome. So we're just having fun.
Yeah, we're gonna freaking give it the beans. Locked. All right, Smitty, hook her up. The Cummins wasn't a problem. The Cummins got through.
I'm not saying nothing.
It was all that extra stuff we brought. The tent. Yeah, the tent. Awesome. Toolbox. Oh! That just stopped.
Let's go drive around some streams.
I feel like you're man.
It was more flat.
The Ultimate International is a 1964 Scout 80. Now, it was a tired old ranch truck when we got it, so we completely tore it apart to essentially the body and the frame, and then threw a whole bunch of new parts at it. So why a Scout? Well, a couple of reasons. It's actually the last major manufacturer of 4x4s that we haven't built for an Ultimate Adventure. So it was finally time to give the international lovers a build that they could follow along with for Ultimate Adventure. So it's a pretty neat car. It's low. We did a lot of body modifications in order to make the tires fit. It's super stable. It's got plenty of power. I couldn't be happier with the way it turned out overall. All right, well, it's the tail end of day one of Ultimate Adventure. It's been pretty awesome. We visited a glacier. We did a bunch of water crossings. We were in some mud. I got stuck. We had some flats. It was pretty rad. So these guys are gonna head back to town. Maybe a few of them are gonna hose off their rigs, do some grocery shopping and stuff like that, because tomorrow we are gonna be camping, but there is no guarantee that we are gonna be anywhere close to civilization where we're going.
Okay, it seems like I'm caught up with you guys, Trent.